In this video, we will learn the impact of the per unit tax in case of monopoly. The question is, consider a monopoly with demand function P is equal to 90 minus 10x. P is the price, x is the output, and cost function, which is total cost, is equal to 10 times x. We need to find out the profit maximizing price and output. Now suppose government imposes a per unit tax which is T is equal to 20. Find the new price and output after the imposition of per unit tax. Okay. So let us solve it. We have the demand function, that is P is equal to 90 minus 10x. This is our inverse demand function. And for the sake of simplicity, let me draw the graph here to make things clear. So we have the output on the horizontal axis, price on the vertical axis. If I plot this demand function, average revenue function, what we call also, on this graph, so what will happen? So when x is equal to 0, P will be 90. So when x is equal to 0 in this equation, so P will be equal to 90. So we have 90 here. Okay, and when P is equal to 0, when P is equal to 0 in this equation, so 90 minus 10x is equal to 0, or 10x is equal to 90, or x is equal to 9. Okay, here we have 9, let us suppose. So let us join these two. This will be our average revenue function. Okay, or this is our demand function. Also we are being told that cost is equal to 10x. Before the imposition of per unit tax, what will be the profit maximizing condition for monopoly? That will be marginal revenue should be equal to the marginal cost. So we need to find out the marginal revenue and marginal cost first. Okay, so as we know, to find our marginal revenue, first we need to find out the total revenue, which is price into output, which will be equal to, so P is 90 minus 10x, to this we multiply by x. So total revenue will be equal to 90x minus 10x square. Marginal revenue, as you know, it is simply the derivative of the total revenue function with respect to x. Derivative of x in the first term is 1, so we are left with 90, minus derivative of x square in the second term is 2x, so 2 into 10 is 20x. Okay, sorry, we are calculating marginal revenue. I have written marginal cost. Likewise, we need to find out the marginal cost. Marginal cost is simply the derivative of cost function with respect to x. Derivative of x in this term is 1, so we are left with 10. Okay, so for profit maximization, we equate marginal revenue with marginal cost. And what will be the marginal cost is equal to 10? Let us draw it on this diagram. So let us suppose this is our marginal cost. Okay, MC before the imposition of tax. For profit maximization, we equate marginal revenue with marginal cost. This is our marginal revenue, this is our marginal cost. That means 90 minus 20x should be equal to 10. Solving further, so 20x is equal to 80. Dividing both sides by 20, x will be equal to 40, rather x will be equal to 4. So profit maximizing level of output initially will be equal to 4. So let us and since this is our demand function or average revenue function, we also need to find out the marginal revenue function. Here you can see, if I plot this marginal revenue function, we have the same price intercept, which is 90, but the slope is twice that of the average revenue function. Here we have the slope negative 10, here we have slope negative 20. So we will have the same intercept, but this will be our marginal revenue function, which has twice the slope of the demand function. Now we know that at equilibrium, marginal revenue should be equal to the marginal cost, this condition. So this marginal revenue, marginal cost. Okay, at equilibrium what happens? Our quantity is 4, and correspondingly we can find out the price. So price will be here. Okay, so when x is equal to 4, what will be the price will be equal to 90 minus 10 into 4. So price will be equal to 90 minus 40, which is 50. So price came out to be 50. So here we have 50, let us suppose. Now we are being told that government imposes a per unit tax of 20. Okay, and what will be the impact? How will our what will be our new price and output? Okay, so what happens? Our marginal cost when a per unit tax is imposed on the monopolist, his cost of production will increase. That means marginal cost will increase. So new marginal cost, let us denote it by MC prime, will be equal to the old marginal cost plus the tax, which is 20. So our new marginal cost will be equal to, so initially the marginal cost was 10 and here we have 20 new. Okay, so that is the tax. So our new marginal cost will be equal to 30. Now what will we know? What will we do? So let us suppose this is our initial, it was here 10, now it comes out to be, it increases to 30. So this is our MC prime. Again we equate marginal revenue with the new marginal cost, which is MC prime. So marginal revenue, as we know, as we have calculated, it is 90 minus 20x should be equal to new marginal cost, which is this time 30. Solving again, so 20x is equal to 90 minus 30 is 60, dividing both sides by 20, so x will be equal to 30. X will be equal to 3. So this is our new output. So what has happened when we equate the marginal revenue with new marginal cost? So our output has decreased from 4 to 3. By obvious reason, marginal cost of production has increased. Now what will be the corresponding price? To find out the corresponding price, so plug x is equal to 3 into the demand function, so price will be equal to 90 minus 10 times 3, so price will be equal to so price will be equal to 60. So eventually what has happened, monopolist will produce less output at higher prices when a per unit tax is imposed on the monopolist. Okay, we can also find out the profit for the monopolist. So we know that profit is simply equal to the total revenue minus the total cost. Okay, so before the imposition of per unit tax, so profit will be equal to total revenue is price into output minus total cost is 10 into x. Okay, so price initially was 50, so we have 50, and quantity was 40 minus we have 10 times the initial quantity was before the imposition of tax was 40, rather 4, so it is 5 4s are 20, then we have 2 zeros minus 10 4s are 40, so it will come out to be 1960. This will be the initial profit. Now rather initial profit. Now new profit will be equal to, let us suppose this is x star and this is p star, that will be equal to p star into x star minus what will be the new cost, that will be equal to 10x plus per unit tax is 20x, so we have 20x, which is 20x plus 10x is 30x. Okay, so price is 60, quantity is 3, so we have 60 into 3. I have done a big mistake here, so we have 50 into 4 here, which is 200, so we get here 200 minus 40, which is equal to 160. Okay, so here we get 30 into 3, which is new, so 6 3s are 180 minus 3 into 30 is 90, So new profit will be equal to 90. Okay, and initial profit was 160. I hope I have done justification with the calculations. Okay, if you like these videos, please share with your friends. That is the only motivation for me to make more useful stuff for you. Okay, I don't charge any penny or even a single buck for these videos. Okay, your feedback is vital for me to make more useful videos. Thank you. Have a nice day.